Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, pardon any lag. I've got my proper screens opened up. They're just not in the right place. So if there's any lag, that's what's causing that. I just did a little test stream before this. I was just saying that I had an awesome birthday because of you guys. I got to eat. I had pizza and hotchki, Polish donuts, uh, chocolate, cake, just what the hell, there's only one day like it, and if you are only doing one live show a week, usually, theoretically, I mean, what you can do, at least what I can do, you can eat right after the show and for a few days, and by the time you get to your next live show, it's all burnt off, so I'm not saying I get to eat that much. I'm just saying that's what your metabolism does when you get smaller. It becomes hard to keep weight on. But that's I'm not really complaining about that because I used to be way too big, so that's cool. But yeah, that was all because of you guys. And before that, I had that great birthday stream, and we all got to hang out. It was so much fun, and since folks have sort of brought it up to me. Oh, what's up, Francois? Glad you made it. Oh yeah, smash that like button right meow. It helps out the channel. Make sure you are subscribed. We're trying to get to 999 subscribers, or just 500, just to see. Why not? Just since YouTube will unsubscribe you from bigger channels, there's no reason to think they wouldn't do that to you if you have a smaller channel. So that's why I bring it up. Oh, what's up, Modus? Glad you made it. He says hi, HIGH. I wish. That would help out. It takes the edge off. But yeah, I'm thinking I probably am. When I say I'm thinking about something, that's I've already thought about it enough that I'm probably gonna do it. But Friday the 13th, it'll be February. I was thinking about doing a show then. I don't really. I mean, it would be cool to do 2 shows every week, but just to have a show that's a balcony chat that's not a review, so we can just hang out and just kick it and talk about any kind of old thing. I like those. Just hanging out. It feels a little bit more like actually being in the chat room, even though you're not physically typing. So those are fun. These are fun too. It's just a different kind of fun. You sort of have to be yourself when you're not doing reviews and not talking about characters. I'm just reaching for myself. In a way, this is kind of better since I've got stuff I have to reach for up here. That started life as a bookshelf, and now it's just a shelf for things to sit on, and my few books actually sit in what still is a DVD tower. Yeah, so those just hang out there. They have a store up here in Ohio. It's over in it's right by the Great Northern Mall. It's literally down the road. It is that North Olmsted, but the Great Northern Mall part is right, but it's called Half Price Books. At least they used to be there, and they have half price books, so you can go there. Theoretically, if the Winds of Winter ever came out, you could drive up there and buy it for half price. So like they'll have brand new stuff half price, but they'll also have you could take used books in there, like they can't be damaged in anything. It's like the exchange for books, so you can take your books in there and it just depends on what you get. Sometimes you don't get dicks, sometimes you get a lot. It just really depends. So that's where some books went. I had an addiction and books in a car, so that's where that stuff went. Obviously completely sober, but yeah. Don't start a drug you can't detox off of. And if you have an addiction, don't steal. Just spend your own money. That's one thing I've always done. If I've ever been on something, I'm working, it's coming out on my paycheck. If I'm borrowing money, I'm returning it. I'm not stealing from people. Can't say that for folks that I've known, but that's I'm more of an honest junkie. Addict, that was, call it what you want. I mean, I was never on heroin or anything. Knew a lot of people, but oh no, got some misspellings in the chat room. There's going to be some whippings. Yeah, you can't spell anything wrong in a chat room. Oh my god, people are going to read that. One of the best typos I ever saw, this would have been back in 2015, but I was talking with a smaller group of friends. We were all fans of 10-second songs. And one guy gets in there, English guy, and he typed 10-second dongs with a D. Crack the fuck up. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I meant it's like, no, keep it. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Keep it. Keep it there. If you make a mistake and it's minor, correct it. If it's that big a mistake, let it ride. Just let it ride. You know you spelled that wrong, right? Nope. I meant to say that. LOL. Oh yeah, I'm getting excited. We're up in the 150s for the episodes. We're getting closer to episode 110. Yeah, pardon me for touching my hands. I'm just very cold. My pinkies get cold first. I hate having cold hands, so I'm not necessarily fidgety because I'm nervous. I'm just wearing shorts in a room that's less than 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not you, it's me. I don't mean to make anybody nervous. I'm kind of excited. I'm in a good mood. Moda says, Nikki, make me a mod only to check other channels for genuosity. Hey, man, look, I'm a moderator on a channel that has at least, I'm up to like 262 subscribers, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Actually, we're so small still. Like, as far as being made a mod over, quite frankly, that was just when the show got bigger and it was needed, but for the longest time it wasn't because the chat room was small, and usually if you're in a small room, you're with people who are into more niche things, and they know how to act in a room. They're not trying to be like the loud caps lock emoji child. They're acting like adults, and your age in real life has nothing to do with the way you behave online. People can be in their 60s and 70s and behave worse than people I see in a chat room for a Minecraft YouTuber. Like, I wish that was a joke, but it's not. It's really not. But then you gotta think some of these kids have probably been online since they were 10 versus somebody who's 65 and they've had a computer for 2 years. So that 10-year-old, or not 10-year-old, but maybe 20-year-old now is older than you online because they put the time in. That's how it works. That's why some older folks can't gel with being online, because some people are from a generation where everything was handed to them, and when you're online nothing is handed to you. You have to work for and earn everything you have. It might not feel like work, but the more time you spend here, you're putting time into it. And so you just know how to behave. You don't act a fool. It's the same thing if you were to go out into a store. You don't run around screaming and touching everything and yelling at everybody. Want to go to said, did we do a sound check for the stream already? Asking for a friend. I did, but I do want to check it again now that I am live. Watch, I'm in a good mood and my audio is all fucked up. I didn't touch the gain. Watch it sound echoey, but let me see. Okay, now I can check it on the TV. Oh, Lisa Gray, what's up? Popping in for just a bit, getting my sister ready to go to Mexico for holistic cancer treatment. It's so unexpected. Oh man, that's a hell of a temperature shift too. What's the temperature in Mexico? What's the time zone there? Does she speak Spanish? But what's holistic mean? Does that mean like they're not going to pump the poison into her? More power to her for doing it, naturally. Um, Want to go to, I get it, 1920s audio geared at 1932. Oh my god. Right after Talkies came out. Let me check, hang on. Oh, I don't want the damn update. Updates make it worse. No, live subscription. Here we go. Oh no, it's just not a camera. It's not the game. Why it's not that? Okay, yeah. It's right of the gods. I think I'm gonna have to start praying over this thing. It is slightly rather than sounding like frying bacon during a tornado, it just sounds like someone is frying bacon not too far away from where we are right now. I moved every single cable, like anything that has a plug that's usually there, I move. So like the charging cable, my second cooling fan, my iron. I just move all that stuff away. Nothing's plugged in, but just to get it away. And then like the cords over here, the lights over there, the plug for the laptop fan is over here. So I have the phone. I mean, I put the phone up here before, but that wasn't a problem. Like, I guess I can keep it right in front of me. There we go. Yeah, it's I don't know how to fix it. If somebody knows how to make the audio not sound crunchy, let me know because I can't find it. I don't know where it is in Streamlabs. I don't know how to look it up in an article. They don't. I mean, like you get search results, but none of them are helpful. So I don't. If you're not going to help, then just shut up. So just, if you can't find any results, don't show me anything. But yeah, it's not so bad. It doesn't sound like the gain has been turned all the way up. I'm not getting that double echo thing. Maybe I need to check it after every episode, probably. Lisa Gray said at least we don't have to adjust the vertical and horizontal. Yeah, they give you the option to broadcast in both. Uh, Honestly, I would worry that it would like drag down the quality or make it lag or just fuck it up in some kind of way. If they can't handle it in landscape mode, what makes me believe that they can handle it in landscape and portrait mode? That's a terrible way to watch videos. It's bad for your hand. And don't put your pinky underneath. That's bad for you too. But that's a terrible way to watch videos. Like turn it to the side. If you don't have a choice, turn it to the side and wait till you get to a bigger screen. It's bad for your eyes too. If you're not just watching a short little video and not shorts. I don't condone shorts. Hells yeah, Moda said he's eating a bacon egg sandwich. Oh, fuck. I miss bacon and eggs and sandwiches. Oh my god. I can think about it really hard. Yeah, I'll just check the audio after every episode so I don't have to repeat an entire 2 hours. I like seeing you guys, but I don't like doing a 4 hour show when I'm just repeating the same episodes over and over again. Oh my god. Yeah. And I don't use this for that's why I'm afraid to stream Minecraft from it, because what if I switch things up and don't remember how to put them back, or if I do put them back right, it still fucks up. No reason for that. But yeah, let's get on with the review. So for the recap, now Sam had a vision that the portrait that he painted of Laura finished itself, and he just had to see it, so he ran out the door, went to Collinwood, told Roger he had to see it. Victoria sees it for herself. She screams, brings it downstairs. That blank space off to the side was filled in with David Collins. And the room smelled like jasmine on top of that. And Roger's just sick of it all, takes it, chucks it in the fire, burns up. There's a horrible scream comes from it when he does that, but there, it's gone. And then later on, Victoria and Frank are on a date. He's driving her back home. Victoria smells jasmine. Say, turn down this road. Okay, go straight. Turn down that road. Stop. And they're at some old graveyard. You go and knock on the door. This little old man lets them in, and this dude is just being extra creepy. He's just bringing it. Like the casting for creepy old man, and just all these older gentlemen show up. Like, he's the creepiest. We'll stick with him. Like for a second, I thought he was a ghost. Like, are they really talking to a dude, or are we seeing an apparition? Like, no, this is a real guy. He's just creepy as hell. But what's his job? He hangs out in a cemetery that they're not burying new people in there. So all he's really doing is like mowing the lawn and keeping the books in order. Like he doesn't have folks coming over. There's no Wi-Fi. Nothing like that. And the cemetery is not going to be in the middle of town, so he's just out there by himself. So I get why he's creepy, but like maybe I know what it's like to not have human contact with people because I do a lot of things online. But then when you get around people, you need to switch your I'm around people mode on. Maybe dial down the creepiness by about 15%. But no, he's all right. He just has a lonely job. Oh, what's up, Patrick? Glad you made it. Said a bit late. Evening, Nikki, and everyone watching. Hope you're all well. Yeah, I'm great. I had a great week because of you guys. Had fun at my shows. Good to see everybody. Best 21 plus year birthday ever. Oh, that was so cool. So now we are on episode 155. This aired January 27, 1967. So now we're on to day 30. 1 month in universe, even though the show began in, what is it, June 27th, 1966. It's taken us that long to get 30 days in. So you think that's something? Watch them stretch out an evening when we get the couple hundred episodes on. It's just like 10, 15 episodes. It's like, bruh, it is the same night. We're having fun, but you start to realize I haven't seen the sun in so long. Is this the same night? Everybody's up? Like, go to bed. So we are in Burke's room, and Mrs. Johnson's there. She gets some information she has to run over and tell Burke personally. They can't be caught associating. It's not safe for her to call him up on the phone. So she just goes over there. But she walks. Modus, did the actor Barnabas die in jail? Oh, I don't think he ever gets arrested. I really don't believe so. I mean, like, we will see a jail, but he's not in it. Huh. I don't think he ever goes to the, like, not visiting, not nothing. He goes to a different kind of jail, like just a different kind of institution, but not Barnabas. He never gets caught. But the guy in real life, no, he was in, if you watch Dark Shadows from 2012. Oh, what's up, Barton? Glad you made it. And what's up, John Rogers? Glad you made it too. If you watch Dark Shadows from 2012, the Tim Burton one, they throw spoilers for a movie that came out however long ago that was. But at one point, they're having a party, and these folks are coming in, and it's these elderly type folks. It's a guy and two ladies, and it's Johnny Depp as Barnabas saying welcome to Collinwood, and they just kind of nod and just walk past the camera. That's the guy in the middle. That's Jonathan Frid. He didn't end up passing away soon afterwards, so that at least they got him in there. But that was nice. But and then one of the other ladies has not been on the show yet, and then the second lady is Maggie. Catherine Lee Scott. But Mrs. Johnson comes in. She's just she doesn't fuck around. She cuts to the point. She's like, "Do you really think Laura is gonna help you destroy the Collins family? How? She's gonna testify that Roger was driving and not you? Why would she do that?" Burke, well, she promised. Mrs. Johnson, she's lying. Burke says, "You better have proof." Mrs. Johnson said, "Laura said she's keeping you pacified to keep your mind off of the case." Burke doesn't understand. So he thinks Laura can do no wrong. So Mrs. Johnson just continues like, "She made a fool out of you. Did I don't lie, not to you." So there's Burke. "Who put you up to lying to me? Roger? Is he paying you now?" Mrs. Johnson just turns around, grabs her coat. She's heading for the door. It's like, "If you don't want to believe me, don't." Hand out the door. Burke's like, "No, no, no, wait, 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 wait. I'm sorry. Sorry I lost my temper." Mrs. Johnson says, "I'm sorry for you," wrapped around Laura's little finger. "You don't know her as well as you think. Men are all alike. You'll do anything for a pretty girl if she bats her eyes at you. She'll go to jail if she testifies." So Burke says that Laura said she only wants revenge on Roger. Mrs. Johnson says she had to say that. So wouldn't she knife you in the back the way she did 10 years ago? And now it's sinking in for Burke. He wasn't believing her at first. Now reality's kind of hitting him. Like, she's going to pay for double crossing me. So I'm glad she snapped him out of it. Lotus said, "Fishy seen multiple stories years ago. My mom watched that hokum." Yeah, if you're just jumping in at random places at Dark Shadows, you'll get confused. If you don't know the whole story, like even I don't know. I mean, like they do a lot of different things. Sometimes we're just getting a batch of characters that are just around for a storyline. Sometimes we're popping in and out with characters we do know. Sometimes we're in another time period. It's another storyline. It's the same actors with different names. So you couldn't like stop watching for a year, jump back in, and be like, "Oh, everybody's at Collinwood and everything's the same. Who are they?" Lisa Gray says, "We'll pursue this when I get a chance. Have to head out in about 10 minutes. Enough time to put on 5 layers of combat. 5 layers to combat the balmy 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Cheers, Nikki and gang." Yeah, take it easy, Lisa. That's rough. Maybe she can bring back some souvenirs, like no cancer. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, yeah. More power to her. That's rough. Seeing what that chemotherapy does to people, and it poisons your body, it poisons your mind. They're just not the same person once they've had all those chemicals run through them. So now it is nighttime. We are at the cottage, and it's Laura and David are sitting by the fire, and David is saying that he snuck over when Victoria went into Collinsport, and Liz is just busy. And he doesn't understand his Aunt Elizabeth right now. He thinks she's just being mean. Like, people are just being mean to my mom. That's all he can really understand about it. But Laura's glad that David missed her, and she's like, "Oh, Liz will understand one day." So over on this, there's these, there's nice furniture in there now. And David gets up and he notices this square little box. And Laura's like, "Oh, you like that? It's a music box. It's got this. You eventually see some kind of mountain painted on the top. I don't know if it's any specific mountain, just a mountain on top of the box. And David wants it, but Laura doesn't think it's a good idea. It's a music box. People are going to hear it, but after a little bit of back and forth, she's just, well, you can have it, but promise me you'll hide it. David, oh, I will. Yeah, Lisa Grace says, good to see you all. If you can, send good healing vibes for my sister. Yeah, definitely. She's in our thoughts and prayers, and that's scary as hell. It's boring as hell going to hospitals. You ever go to a hospital? There's nothing to do. I mean, they might have Wi-Fi, but like it's bright, it's cold, everybody's dressed the same. People are just like sick and crying, and there's wires and buttons and lights, and it's just, ugh. I wouldn't want to hang out there. Look, man, I watched DR and I watched Scrubs, and I did a year in the hospital when I was 10 years old, so I've done my time. Nobody will tell you this. It took me 20 years to figure it out, but the time you spend in a hospital, you're not growing as a human, you're not evolving. So if you have a baby that's been in a hospital for 5 years, they have had no life at all. You're just going into hospitals. You're just sick in tubes and wires and cables and paperwork. So like, yes, I have my age from when I was born, but I can honestly shave about a year off of that. And it's not that I'm hung up about my age. It's just that I spent a year in hospital. You're not growing as a person. You're not evolving. You're not living. You're just existing. And then there's pain on top of it. Just, yeah, never again. But we don't see too many hospitals on this show. It's okay. So David's got that music box, but he's got to get home. So he goes home, walks into the foyer. He does go to hang up his coat there. Like, we don't see hooks, but he does, reach to, hang up his coat there. Then we get this weird cut. They just must have screwed it up, which camera, but like we see Liz for a hot second, then we just see like the living room. It's not in focus, but the camera does eventually cut over to Liz. She's standing at the window, the stressed out window she's got to open up. She's wearing this medium gray, long sleeved. It's got this folded down collar with her pearls, and she's wearing this small brooch. It's teeny tiny, itty bitty, like teeny tiny pearls, and then probably gold, little like leaf petals, brooch. The whole thing's probably that big, just teeny tiny little thing. And, pardon me. And the hair bow. I need my water. Oh, got so excited about that hair bow I choked. Like, she isn't glam enough. She doesn't need any more detail. But and it's just a dark colored fabric. I guess it's black. It doesn't seem to be any kind of gray. Arden, Liz wore some great outfits. Oh my god, yes. I would love to see her wardrobe for the show. Just like, oh my god, look at this stuff. And it might fit me. We're the same size or the same height. So if any of that stuff is still, yeah, let me put on some clothing that's 60 years old. The seams won't rip on that. But if they like that Chanel type suit that she wears, I like that. I wouldn't have it's no sleeve like the shirt underneath. I'd have to have sleeves on it. But other than that, oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good. She wears it well. Even her like big flowy clothing still has some structure to it, so you can see that she's got a chest and a waist. So it's not just what they do with Laura. They just put this clothing on her, And like there's no belt, it doesn't go in anywhere. It's just big and flowy and loose, like something you would wear for bed. Maybe that's what was in style back then, but it's just a tarp. It might be black, it might be some kind of design, but they just don't. Maybe they were like, hell, we're not tailoring nothing for you, lady. Just put this on and get out there. But they just throw her in any old kind of fabric and send her on her way. But there's a thunderstorm starting, so we got the like thunder and lightning going on. Liz goes up to David, like, where were you? And David, oh, I was just playing at the beach. Liz doesn't like that. Like, I don't like you playing at the beach, especially after dark. And what's that you're holding? Because he's got something behind his back the whole time. Like he's, making sure he doesn't turn his back to her. It's very obvious. David just like, oh, it's just a box I found. Lets her see it, and Liz looks at it. She's like, that's a strange thing to lose at a beach. David says, people lose odd things at the beach all of the time. I don't know if the character realizes what a joke he's making, but he just says it like, oh, well. Doesn't mention the pen, but that's the first thing I thought of. I lost it. Even David gets some jokes. Like, just because he's a little kid, he holds his own, just like the adults. But Liz sees it. She recognizes it right away. Like, you got that from Laura's cottage. No, I didn't. I found it. Liz knows better. And David's just, well, I like my mom, but you won't let me see her. And I think you're being mean to her. So Liz, come into the living room. I need to talk to you. So Liz explains that she has to decide what's best for him. And those dreams that he was having upset him, and he just wants Laura to leave for a little while. David says, you hate her. I don't love you because you want my mom to go. And I hate you. It's really going off on her. Kind of get where he's coming from, but dude. It's kind of like I said before in one of the other episodes. Like, I really only think Laura is coming around for David for her, magical issues. And it really does seem like the only person who really loves and accepts David for himself is his Aunt Elizabeth. So, bro, that's harsh. So back at the cottage, Laura's there. Burke just shows up, how he usually does. Banging on the door, like, are you going to let me in or not? It's going to start storming out here. I'm not going to go until we talk. So she has to let him in. And Laura says that, like, you barge in here just to say you can't trust me anymore? Bye. So I know I can't change your mind. And she goes back and sits by the fire and just, fake, we can see her face, Burke can't, doing her fake cry. I just can't help it because I'm saying goodbye to so much. She's like, remember what we promised? Burke finishes her sentence. He said that someday we would be together. Laura says, well, we can't be if you don't trust me. So now Burke believes her. Like that's all it took, just her crying a little bit. So okay, that's the head he's thinking with. All right, gotcha. So now we're back in the living room, and Liz decides she's gonna go out despite the storm coming up. So she walks into the foyer, into that little, like how there's that little sort of area between the, like the actual foyer and a place where you could hang up coats. She actually reaches over there and takes her coat off of the hook. So they're hanging up coats now. It's only been a month. So now we're back in the cottage. And Laura is saying, she says, I have to pretend I'm not interested in you or I won't get David. Like, can't you understand that? And Burke, oh, like I didn't realize. So he gets that. And then he tells Laura that she's very beautiful and kisses her. Then we hear Liz. And Laura! She's standing right in the doorway, like didn't knock, just walked in. Liz says, don't bother to explain. I wouldn't believe you anyway. Burke doesn't mind that he got caught. He's like, hey, I like things out in the open. But that's all he was there to do, so he takes off. Side note, somebody cleaned the damn glass on that window. Like, you've never seen a piece of glass that just had so many fingerprints and been touched so much as if the camera's not going to get close to it. We're not going to see it. It's literally the dirtiest window we're going to see on the show. It's almost worse than the broken windows at the old house because it's fingerprint. Like, I realize there's this crisscross pattern, but you can get somebody in there to wipe it. I don't know. I don't know. It's like that, but it is. Like, everybody's touching the door for good luck, but Burke's gone. So Liz says that you are encouraging David to lie, and I won't have it. You get out of here by tomorrow at the latest. I've had enough. You'll never get David. I'll take you to court. So Laura says, well, you're very good at making threats. If I decide to take David, no power on earth will stop me. Liz says, what do you mean? Laura, you'll find out. Liz, just get out, you hear? She's gone. She wanted her to leave right then, but Laura's like, in the storm? So Liz is like, well, tomorrow by the latest. I don't want to even see your footprints on the dirt path anymore. But Liz is officially done. It takes a lot to push this lady, but that's it. So we're back in Collinwood. We're in the foyer. And Liz is just kind of uneasy on her feet. We never see her like she's going to fall out or anything like that, but just something about the way she's walking. She's unwell. We can't tell why, but like rather than going to the living room, she just starts heading upstairs. She's going really slow, like hand on the banister, just taking really careful, slow steps up. And she almost gets to the top there, but then she stops and turns around. And then she yells for Roger or Victoria. And then she screams, falls backwards down the stairs. Just out of the shot. We don't see the actress actually fall. But she certainly did fall out. And I'd forget how they convey this if they actually show Laura, staring into the fire, because that seems to be how she works her magic. But it's that Laura used her powers to make Liz fall out. Because, again, we know Liz takes downers, but we've never seen her, like, tripping balls or like, stumbling around or nothing like that. So you can't say she popped a pill on the walk back. Dude, that was Laura. And then we see the cottage, that brick wall for the credits. It does have a lot of brickwork in there. I realize now that I made that all wooden in Minecraft. I gotta fix that. That's a me problem. Let me check the audio. I think it's still rather bacony, but just give me a sec. I guess it's an intermission. Really? You're not gonna turn on? It'll make you walk over there. On camera. I forget how they convey this. If they have to show Laura, staring into the fire, because that seems to be. Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. That's. I guess that's as good as it gets. Fun movie if you've never seen it. From I think '97. Um, Jack Nicholson film. Yeah, like Arden was saying with Liz with the great outfits, but like right now, like the characters on the show, if I could dress like anybody, it'd probably be Liz. That's really not my style. I couldn't afford clothes like that, but like everything looks so good on her. That and those boots that Maggie was wearing that come up almost to the knee. We don't see the bottom of the boot, but think about what '60s boots looked like. Oh my god! And they were dark. I would wear those. But yeah, episode 156. This aired on January 30th, 1967. It's still day 30. It's nighttime. There's a thunderstorm going on. And they sort of just reshot the end with like Liz coming back, going up the stairs, hollering for Roger and Victoria, and just falling backwards, out of the shot. But the second story door opens up, and Roger comes out and he finds Liz there just sprawled out on the ground at the bottom of the stairs. So he hollers for Mrs. Johnson and Victoria. So Victoria comes running out. They see, everybody's looking at the floor. Victoria said, "Did she faint?" Roger says, "I don't know. I'll call a doctor." Wait! Liz starts, coming to, waking back up. She's like, "No, why am I down here? I'm all right. Don't embarrass me by calling a doctor." Roger says, "Well, come into the living room. Let's get you a brandy." So they bring her into the living room. Liz says, "I don't want a brandy. I can't spend the afternoon sitting around. I'm expecting a phone call. I've got to give Mrs. Johnson tomorrow's menu." Roger says, "Did you say afternoon? It's after 10 o'clock. That call you were expecting came through earlier." They realize that you don't remember half of the day. Liz is like, "Well, I remember I ate lunch, and then I was writing some letters up in my room, and then it gets fuzzy after that." And she doesn't remember being on the stairs. She's like, I know, maybe walking up the stairs will help me remember. They walk with her into the foyer. She goes up the stairs. They're with her though, and she's still walking up slowly, like when you're trying to retrace your steps, like walking slowly like that. And she's just like, "Oh, where was I going? Why was I going up?" And right about when she gets to the same step, she almost falls out again. But again, they're right there, so they catch her. She can't fall down the stairs, and she's upset. She just wants to go to her room, so they just take her on up. Art Brandy, good idea. Yeah, now you might have hit your head. I don't know. We didn't see it, but the best thing for you right now is hard liquor. Like you hit your head. Oh, just sleep it off. What's a concussion? You were just asleep. Here's a downer. Like, no, like, get her an upper. So now we are over at the Blue Whale. And Joe's sitting there. He's just having a beer, just chilling. And Carolyn walks in. She's looking for Burke. Walks up to the barman, just, asking if Burke's been in. And he's like, no, and hasn't seen him today. So Joe's right there at the bar, too. And he says, are you looking for your boyfriend? And he's being cool with her. He's really didn't say that to quite be a dick. He's like, look, just because you and Burke gave me the go around doesn't mean I'm gonna be a dick to you. It's like he's not gonna be mean just because they had a fight whenever that was. And he tells her he does want to get even, but he won't. So Carolyn says, well, let's be friends and have a drink right now. Joe says, can't. Gotta go pick up Maggie after work. And he lets her know that he sees Maggie as often as he can. Aw. But the phone rings there. Guy picks it up. Just, hey, Miss Stoddard, it's for you. So Carolyn gets on the phone. It's Roger saying, get home. Liz is sick. Doctor's with her. So don't need to hear any more than that. She's out the door. In cartoons when they take off running so fast that they leave like the black outline of their clothing and everything, it's like that. Maybe that's just a Simpsons thing, but yeah. I don't know if we see her leave, but that's about as fast as I would have left. So now we're back in the foyer. We're up on that top because there's like that banister that takes you through the door to the rest of the house. They don't do too many scenes up there, but it's kind of nice to be up there. It's just different. Get to jack the camera up higher. Oh, what's up, Brian? Glad you made it. A happy Saturday night winter wonderland, everybody. Yeah, isn't there a really bad snowstorm coming up around somewhere? Something like that? I saw a picture of like the cold vortex up by Canada, and it just looks like looks like a pair of tits. Big naturals. At least I'm not up in Canada. I don't know. It's cold enough in here. Patrick said, drinking hot black currant and apple now. Trying to lower my blood pressure. Quite good. Oh, yeah, definitely. You don't want high blood pressure. They make you take medication for it, and I don't think it gets you high, so what's the point in taking it? Yeah, man, just I take those downers that Liz takes that she gave to Victoria that one time. Just chill. I personally like Xanax. I mean, like any kind of downer messes with my tinnitus, but yeah. You just need a little bit and you'll feel alright. Don't do drugs. But they're up there on that second, banister, the second floor of the foyer. And Roger is saying to Carolyn that, well, the doctor said it's not a heart attack or a stroke, but we just don't know what's wrong. But when you go in to see her, just don't be shocked. Her memory is just off. Brian said, LOL, yes, Nikki, about half the country gets winter storm. Francois says, it seems that avoiding seed oil is really good against blood pressure. Yeah, there are natural things you can do to bring it down. I've just forgotten what they are. Sometimes I think I have low blood pressure. But maybe my calories are just low. I wouldn't really know what's how do you tell? All I know is people get high blood pressure and suddenly they're on medication. Is there a low blood pressure medication? Like, oh, it's this doctor prescribed me this meth. It's okay. I still wouldn't do meth. Francois, real olive oil, butter is good, but seed oil is. You said terrific. I'm sure you meant terrible. Yeah, seed oil, like canola oil, any of that stuff. Like get you some olive oil. You can use olive oil and vinegar for your salad dressing. Put some pepper and salt in it. It works just fine. Don't smoke cigarettes either. That's bad for high blood pressure. I know that. Not from personal experience, but oh, lots of smokers. That's why I know all these smokers who have had heart attacks. It's terrible. It's sad to think about. But anyway, we're new location. We have not been here before. Francois, yes, terrible. Yeah, just spell check. Or yeah, olive oil and butter are the best. You know, like have them with food, not together. That would get very greasy very quickly. We're in Liz's bedroom. It's nice. It's what you would expect. You know, like the bed's got like the four posts. You got some artwork on the wall, fireplace. They've all got these big windows. It's nighttime, but you can see the curtains back there. Just places to sit by the fire. It's not say overly decorated or gaudy or anything like that. Very tasteful. Brian is saying that 100% it's a whole blend of oils. Whoever thought rapeseed oil could be good for anyone. Yeah, with that name, like I don't even want to know how they harvest that. Oh my god. I don't want the sexually abused oil. I think I should get some therapy first. That's not okay. Someone should be in jail. But we see Victoria was sitting with Liz. Liz is just lying in bed, and when Carolyn comes in, Victoria heads out. So Carolyn's just kind of cautiously approaching her. She was told about the memory thing. We don't know how much memory she's lost. Patrick said, cheers, everyone. Need to lower blood pressure for a cataract operation. Yeah! Gotta get that done so you can see. Get back into your Minecraft gaming. As many people as Minecraft's the most popular game ever, and I don't know anyone personally who plays it. That's my lot. Liz is just lying in bed, just kind of just there. She's awake and everything, but she tells Carolyn, she's like, it's cold. Why can't I go to my room? Carolyn says, this is your room. Liz, oh, all right. Why can't I concentrate? And she tries to sit up, and Carolyn's just like, no, you need to lie down and be calm. And Liz, no, she wants to get up. She says, I have to find out what's happening to me. I was walking up the stairs when it happened. So Carolyn's still like, no, to just lie back. I just want you to rest. And she gives her a hug. And Liz is really not being herself. She's not so jangly like this. She's being very vague with what she's saying too. She's like, don't let it happen to me. Why doesn't somebody help me? Save me! And she's so. It's kind of hard to watch. She's so upset. She's always got it so together, and now she's all like scared and confused. It's kind of hard to watch. Arden said rapeseed got renamed to canola because it sounded bad. Why? Why would they change that? It has such a punch to it. I'm sure if this was a monetized channel, I'd get in trouble for saying that. So, like, why? Why would you not? That's what I'm going to start calling it. Like, I don't call it tuberculosis. I call it consumption. I know it's the same thing, but nobody told me that for the longest time. And then I found out, like, no, you're consumption. It makes more sense. Oh, poor Liz. But we're downstairs in the living room now. Victoria's already there. Like, the scene opens up and we see Victoria, like, doing one of these. Like, she's wiping away a tear. So, like, she's upset, too. But Carolyn comes down and she says here, her mom just thinks something terrible will happen to her. And shouldn't she be in a hospital? Victoria said, well, the doctor's coming back tomorrow to run some more tests, and you have to believe she'll be okay. So Carolyn says, well, I do, but what if? And then she just drops down in a chair, like she's crying. This whole episode is hard to get through, but she's just that upset. She's really crying. She's like, I can't lose her. She's all I really have. And Victoria's like, well, you should try to sleep. Is there anything you want? Carolyn says, I wish you hadn't said that. She says, there is something that I want, and I hate myself for wanting it. Burke. She says, I want him to hold me and never let me go. And she leaves the room. She's going upstairs. Arden, maybe offer her a brandy. That would be Rogers. Oh shit, I'm crying now. That would honestly help her. She doesn't need to be an alcoholic like her uncle, but she does need a shot of liquor every now and then to calm her ass down. She didn't hit her head. She doesn't need a drink. Oh, damn. It's good for what ails you. Arden said, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah. You gotta pull the comedy out somewhere. They're not always up. I'm not saying I need jokes to get through a show, but after so long, you see the silly side of things. Like back when Victoria was missing, and Frank Garner called saying, well, Vicky never got off of the bus. Maybe she'll be on the next one. Okay, well, it's been an hour. She wasn't on that bus. And then we go through like the whole episode or two, and I just realized, I'm like, what if Frank Garner is still standing at the bus stop for almost a whole day watching everybody get off of the bus? Jump cut to that. It's not like the Naked Gun TV show, or I don't know if they did anything like that, but it's not a comedy, even though they do have some jokes. Oh man. Maybe if Roger was there, he would have offered her one. But that sounds like something that Sam Evans would be like, oh, have a drink. That's the funniest thing I've heard all day. Brian's asking what is black currant. Patrick says it's a berry that grows everywhere in Britain. Oh, cool. Dude, if it's just around. Is it like does it taste like anything else, like a blackberry or a blueberry or a raspberry? What to go to says canola oil was developed in Canada. Oh, it's their fault. Blame Canada. By Dr. Balder Stephenson, two S's, well, three S's, and Dr. Keith Downey in the 60s and 70s. They reduced level of euceric, e or eusic erucic acid and glucosinolates in rapeseed. Yeah, that's a word I say all the time. Making it air quotes safe and effective. Oh, Francois, yeah, safe and effective. Where did I hear that before? Yeah, I wonder. Safe and effective? Like a seatbelt? Once Ago says the name canola was coined by a contraction of Canadian oil, low acid, and was trademarked in 1978. It's Canadian oil, but there's no maple syrup in it. That can't be right. I don't know, man. Where's Dragon Sage? We gotta ask him. Okay, Patrick says it's a bit like raspberry. Okay, that's not so bad. But yeah, over in the foyer, the clock chimes midnight. So now it's day 31. Wow. It took them a while, but they got there. Well, watch me get to the end of the series, and it hasn't even been a whole year, but so we're in day 31. It's still nighttime though. And then we see we're in Liz's room again. They always have like if there's a mantle, there's usually a teeny tiny clock with a small face on it that you can't see from far away. But we get close to this one. It says it's 2:03 a.m. and Liz is awake. And she remembers going up the stairs and the storm that's still going on. And then she was coming from the cottage. And she's like, Laura, just go. Don't threaten me. I remember now. And she's like, Victoria, Roger. She jumps out of bed and throws on a robe. I love how she does it too. She kind of like swings it around and like puts it over herself. So just very dramatic without being dramatic. But he tosses on this bedrobe. And in the background, that's like the window for the room, so we can see the curtains blowing, got the window open, and it's it just light enough that we can tell that there are windows through it. But she sees us like it's some dark, cloaked figure. We can't see the face at all. Like don't know if it's a man or a woman. It just has some long dark cloak standing in her room. So Liz says, "Who's there? Answer me!" And then she screams, great scream. I won't try to imitate it. Liz does some great screams, but she screams at the top of her lungs, and then it just vanishes. The entire border of this robe, it's about an inch or two wide. It's some kind of sparkly, like it's not sequined, but it's got some kind of sparkliness in there. It's nice little extra detail. But it was just that quick, that thing's gone. Carolyn, Roger, and Victoria run in. And now Liz, she's sitting at the end of the bed. They've got a seat or a chest or just a place you can sit. So that's where she's sitting, and she's just kind of holding onto the banister. And yeah, there's 3 people in the room, but she's really not trying to look up and pay attention to them right now. She's kind of freaked out, but she's sort of just talking to herself. She's like there's a bird high in the sky, or high against the sky, and fire, waves against the rocks. It's the bird. It's the bird. She keeps repeating, and she's not looking at the other 3 at all. So she's just saying this stuff, and they're just worried. And then we see a shot of the foyer for the credits. Arden says, we have black currant in the U.S. also, but it's not common. Yeah, isn't that the stuff they're trying to put in every single last thing now? Like every single, like vitamins and stuff. I swear that's what it is. I haven't been in a store in very long, and I probably won't get a chance to go back. But I swear that's every time I'm heading down towards the vitamins and shampoo and stuff. You have to walk by all the the pharmacy area, and is that what it is? Black currant, something like that. They kept putting they maybe they still do it. They keep putting activated charcoal and stuff, and I only know that stuff from hearing about people getting their stomachs pumped, and then I've also heard it blocks, like if you take medication, it blocks it from getting into your system. So why is it in toothpaste and everything? I stay away from that. Oh, Brian says it sounds like it would make a nice tea. Yeah, black currant, it's kind of a raspberry tea. That wouldn't be bad. It would just be like a dark raspberry tea. Arden says, I think the English brought it here a long time ago. Oh, Patrick says it's a bit too sweet for tea. Ooh, I don't have to add honey to it or just water. So it's like a sweeter than a raspberry. That might be good. I'd try it. All right, episode 157 aired on January 31st, 1967. That storm ended last night. It's a new day. It's morning. It's day 31. And we're in the living room, and Victoria's just sitting in one of the chairs, like she's dressed, but she kind of like wakes up like she was taking a nap. She mentions, but she's saying like fire, that bird, stone, and oh, okay. But when she wakes up, she smells jasmine. And then they do this effect like the entire edge of the shot. It's super blurry. Like I don't know if they like are using Vaseline on it, but this is meant to convey that something is happening. So Victoria's just kind of talking out into the air, like Josette, like that. Help me understand what Liz said. The stone means the graveyard, and the crypt. Wait, don't leave! And it just that scent just floats away, and she's like, "All right, I'll go." I'm so afraid. Like, okay, that's spooky. So when if Josette speaks with you, apparently the edges of your vision get blurry. Brian said it would work for indeed it would work for me. I like coffee, tea, juice, soda, all sweet. Like I like sweet stuff too, but if it's too sweet, then it's just not good. Francois, oh I see what is black currant. We make syrup with it here and cocktails with the syrup. I like it. Oh, cool. Oh, Patrick said they make a lot of jam and jelly out of it there in England. Okay. If you want something that's too sweet, like you can feel the enamel coming off your teeth and going down your throat, have the it was either Rockstar or Monster. It's watermelon. Oh my god, too sweet. That was not okay. I like watermelon. I like sweet stuff, but I like having enamel on my teeth as well. Never again. So later on, Victoria is bringing her coat from downstairs, and knock at the door at the foyer. Victoria lets in Frank, and he's like, "Well, what's going on? You call me at 5 a.m. and say you'll explain when I get here, and now you're I'm here and you're not explaining it to me now. You're going to explain it later. It would, WTF?" But this is right when Roger's coming down the stairs. And he's saying that Liz is asleep and Carolyn's with her. So Frank says, what's wrong with Liz? Victoria, I'll explain later. And then she said, well, that Liz fell out with weakness and memory loss. And Roger says it's not a stroke. The doctor recommended rest and keep this to yourself. Said Liz is ill. That's all. And she yelled in the night and kept repeating the same thing about the bird. So they head into the living room, and Roger is saying to Frank that maybe you should go for that drive. The fresh air will do you good. sees that Victoria's got her coat there. So back in the foyer, Victoria says, I want to go back to the crypt. Wantigosu says, Cur Royale is a classic American cocktail featuring blackcurrant liqueur made by combining half-ounce creme de cassis, cassis, with 5 ounces chilled sparkling wine like prosciutto, or no, Prosecco, Prosecco, or champagne. Oh, okay. Ryan says adult beverages nice. I've undoubtedly drank it and not even known it. Oh, One to Go To says it's a popular choice for celebrations due to its elegant, bubbly profile and deep purple hue. If it's purple, I'm on it. Bruh, I want to try it. That's why Cur Royal is white wine plus black currant. Cassis. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look for that, huh? As long as it's not sour. I don't do sour. Like, lemon's fine, but it doesn't have to be super sour. So now Victoria and Frank are back at the caretaker's home. So, Frank's knocking on the door. They're hollering for that dude. Victoria just kind of doubting herself, that whole talking to Josette thing just earlier. She's like, maybe I dreamt it. But, she knocks too, and nobody's answering the door. Well, from behind them, here comes the caretaker. So he was just been outside too, just saying that the storm knocked down some of the gravestones, and they're unmarked, so he's got to look them up. And, might as well come in, invites him inside. And he mentions he saw something in the storm knocking down those tombstones. And there's no peace in the night. So he tells them that the records, all those books, are of that cemetery that they're in, and another one that's 7 miles north that was dug up and moved when Collinsport got too big. My first thought was poltergeist. That's how you get a haunted house. That's how you get a haunted town. Why is Collinwood like that? Maybe it's because they had to dig up a bunch of graves and move them. They didn't mention that they moved the bodies. I assumed they would. But if you move that many dead people at once, you're going to piss off some of them. Maybe that's when the problem started. We don't get a year for this, but that explains a lot. Want to go to gin and tonic? Yeah, with blackcurrant liqueur is a simple yet sophisticated option. Mix 1 ounce of the creme de cassis with 1 ounce gin and top with tonic water. It's a favorite among gin enthusiasts. Dude, if I could drink a purple gin and tonic, oh my god, I've got gin. Creme de cassis is sweet, dark red French liqueur made from black currants. It has a rich, tart, and fruity flavor with a smooth, viscous texture and typically 15% alcohol by volume. Okay, now you're talking. Gotta get into them double digits. Oh man, I drank this beer. It was 5%. 5%. Are you 12? Drink some liquor. One to Go To said beyond drinks, it's used in desserts, sauces, salad dressings, and even as a glaze for meats. Yeah, it might be good. Yeah. Cassis cream. So they're in the caretaker's crypt, stony area. I'm sure it's cold as hell on top of being musty. But Victoria's asking the caretaker if he knows the name Murdoch or Laura Murdoch. Caretaker says Laura Murdoch Stockbridge died by fire. What's the last name? It's not Stockbridge. And then Victoria starts to smell jasmine in the air. And she's like, Josette, please help us. And then one of the books facing the camera slowly starts to come up towards us, and then it falls on the ground. And if you want to be taken out of the moment, you can look for the stagehand person with his black sleeve, like pushing the book forward. But I was looking for that on purpose. You might not notice that. It's okay. But Frank picks up the book and it's right to the page that it's open on. It's like Laura Murdoch Radcliffe. Caretaker's like, that's it! So Victoria takes the book. She reads it herself. She said, look at these dates. The 1840 to 1867. Doesn't that mean something? It was 100 years ago. Frank says, you think Laura had something to do with Liz. And Liz mentioned Stone. Then you thought to come here because of Josette. Victoria says, it all seems related up to a point. We're supposed to find out. So the caretaker was off doing something else, but then he's like, oh, I found her. Laura Murdoch married Robert Radcliffe, but her parents aren't listed. He wouldn't have let somebody marry into the family if the parents were unknown. But she died by fire. Cassis, C-A, and then hyphen capital S-I-S, Cassis. It's not Cassis, is it? I was saying it wrong. Nah, French. Cassis. Cease, like ceases and stop. Can you smell jasmine in the air? No, it doesn't smell like weed. It smells like jasmine, and I sort of forget what jasmine smells like. Cassis is good. It's like a dry S at the end. Yeah, I am not going to get through a French class at all. Aren't you the one that says stuff wrong on your live show? Get out of here. Just, I'm just going to call it black currant. Yeah. And cream with one of those little lines over it. Like, think of Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds. Wait for the cream. Oh, Patrick, Arden is Wally celebrating the Hammers won again today, 3-1. Oh, good for them. Party at their house. Over in the living room. Cassis. Okay, gotcha. Cassis. Funny way to spell black currant, but okay. But yeah, Roger is pissed off. He told Mrs. Johnson he did not want to be bothered, and there's Lieutenant Riley there with some questions. Well, he just really wanted to tell Roger, what he has to say to his face. And just then, Victoria and Frank come back. And there's Roger going off. He's like, well, Lieutenant Riley came here to tell me what I already know. Laura is Laura. He could be commended for his perception. He's like, Frank, you deal with him. So Lieutenant Riley says, this case isn't closed. Roger said, you put Laura and me through the ringer with your suspicions. We cooperated. We're done. Good morning. And he's out the door. Or at least out of the room. And so Lieutenant Riley's telling the other two, well, the fact is, both ladies checked out as Laura. So we're going to have to bury that Phoenix lady as an unknown. And the investigation will have to stop for now. If I weren't a sane man, I'd report that there are two Laura Collins. But that's all he has to say. He's gone. Victoria turns to Frank. She says, "Do you think there are two Lauras?" Frank says, "No." "You?" Laura's like, "No. There's four. All tied together." Frank says, "All died by fire 100 years apart." Victoria, "Except for this Laura." And then we see the caretaker's house there for the credits. Kind of really just looks like a basement with a bunch of books until you see half of it's a crypt. Arden says, "Oh, Wally was ecstatic." "Oh, nice." "What's all that screaming?" "I don't know. We either won or we lost." "I don't hear swearing, though." Water. Oh, what's up, Swamp Cabbage? Glad you made it. Yeah, smash that like button if you have not already. It helps out the channel. Gets it pushed out. I'll tell you what. I think I mentioned this before, that it's been months now where this channel has not gotten at least a few views every single day. And one of the things that did happen that I did get for my birthday, I got a lot for my birthday. I already had you guys, but my Dark Shadows Complete series video got over 4,000 views. It's blown past that. I don't know why. I realize the 60-year anniversary is coming up. Usually Dark Shadows stuff gets a lot of clicks at the start of the month, so I don't know why it was getting so many clicks in the middle of the month. And I didn't want to mention anything. I don't want to artificially inflate the numbers. But yeah, it's way past 4,000. I never thought I'd see that reach 4K. That's the biggest video I'm ever going to do. But a lot of other stuff has been getting clicks too. And now the channel's creeping up close to 18,000 views in less than 2 years. It's wild. So thank you guys. That's pretty crazy for a little channel. Oh. I guess he doesn't have a name. Anyway, episode 158 aired on February 1st, 1967. It's still day 31. It's still morning. And Liz is up in her bedroom, and she just looks tired as hell. She's lying down, and she looks tired on top of it, so she's just exhausted. And the doctor is telling Roger, "I've never seen anything like it. There's only so much physical examination he can do, but he's just stumped." So down in the foyer, there's a chair underneath the mirror right of the doors. Because we usually don't see it. It's directly across, like if we were standing facing that grandfather clock, it would be at our backs. We don't really see that. So that mirror there, like we can't see anything else other than the clock. It's not, showing us the camera or anything like that. But on his way out, telling Roger that there's nothing wrong with Liz that I can test here. I want to move her to a hospital in Boston so we can run some better tests. Roger says, "Do it, but you're going to need Liz's okay first." Doctor tells him, "Well, be quick." So now over in the living room, a cute dress on Carolyn, a long sleeve, I don't know the cuts of skirts, like A-line. It kind of comes out a little bit, not very dramatically, but that kind of skirt. And then the top, it's almost like this extra. It looks to be the same color. It's kind of like an upside down triangle, just of extra fabric. It's all the same color, like I just said. And then Victoria's in her sleeveless dark dress that I like. It's very flattering. Swamp Cabbage says, "Man, we have some paranormal circ here in Naples, Bonita Springs. Looks cool, like a comedy horror under some tent." Yeah. Isn't that what that like that Day of the Dead for in Mexico was like? Like people are dressed like skeletons and kind of spooky, but they're also kind of like dressed up like a super fancy funeral. Do they do them big fancy funerals down in New Orleans? It's like a parade, but like, oh, there's a dead body. Like, why is everybody crying? I guess you can if you have all that makeup on. I mean, you can, but then you just get, But Carolyn just does not understand how Liz can be sick. Like, she's never sick. How can this? How can she just fall out like this so bad? Victoria, it could be exhaustion. Just, just chill out before you catch it. Like, don't worry yourself to death. But Roger comes in, he's saying that the doctor wants to run tests in Boston, so the three of us need to tell Liz it's for the best. They really have to convince her, because we know what she's going to say. Carolyn's like, I just realized how convenient this makes things for you. Well, for your divorce and David's custody. Tell you what, you break the news to her. Roger just looks like he's going to have to get up and do something. Swamp Cabbage, cool idea. They must do okay. Had a semi after semi uh semen. I like this chat room because I'm always getting words I've never seen before. Semin labeled semi N SEMINLAVELED. I think I'm so good at English, and then I come here and I know nothing. It's nice to know that I don't know everything. Or now some do fancy funeral in New Orleans does a second line dance. like they're dancing and carrying the casket. I wonder what the weight limit says on that. Like, oh no, this is like 10 pounds overweight. I'm not gonna throw out my back at a funeral. Swamp Cabbage, I'm sick as fuck, drinking rum. Hopefully it fills the head cold today. Oh, yeah, feel better. Yeah, get something to eat, drink a lot of water, get a bunch of sleep, watch something funny. That always helps. Swamp Cabbage is autocorrect. Yeah, I just, maybe I don't know every word, but I give you guys the benefit of the doubt. Hey, sometimes you make a typo and it's a whole new word. You gotta have fun with it. So up in Liz's bedroom, Roger goes up there and he's telling Liz that the doctors couldn't find anything wrong, but they want to run tests in Boston. Liz says, I won't leave Collinwood. It's just fatigue. Where's Carolyn? And just then Carolyn walks in like she was just right outside the door. Liz says, the doctor thinks I should go to a hospital. He doesn't think for me. I think for myself. It's like, will you let them take me away from Collinwood? It's like, I want to stay here. Carolyn, she's like, do it for me. Liz says, I see. You've decided without me. Just know, if I go, you're in charge. And no decisions are to be made about David or anything until I return. Carolyn says the hospital's only a phone call away. Liz says, yeah. But will you be allowed to make that call? Looks over at Roger. She said, "Get my lawyer. I won't leave." So Carolyn goes, gonna do what she says. And Liz says to Roger, "I won't let you put me in a hospital. Get Victoria." And so, Vicky, come in. She does, and looks at Roger again, like, "I'd like to speak with Victoria alone." And Roger just has to go. So Liz tells her, like, "Laura is going to take advantage of me being gone. You must keep Laura away from David." Victoria says, "Well, what if Roger insists that he sees her?" Liz says, "You're too young. I haven't got anybody. There's no one I can trust. They can't take me away. Please go." So Victoria just goes. She's out the door. And it's quiet for a little while. Liz is just kind of lying there. And she looks over by the fireplace. Laura's sitting there by the fire. So Liz says, "I'm not well. Go away." Laura says, "I know. No one knows I'm here." She stands up. She says, "I only want David. I told you you couldn't stand in my way." So Liz just like, "No, there's something about you I've got to remember." It just, when something's on the edge of your memory, it's bugging her just like that. So Liz says, "You're going to have a nice long rest." Liz says, "I won't let you have David." Liz says, or not Liz, but Laura says, "You may never remember. You must forget. The memories slipping into the fog. And time is stopping for you. Like limbo." She's being really nice, but it's really creepy. And Liz is scared as hell. Swamp Cabbage says, "You're awesome, Nikki. Don't let anyone tell you different." Yeah. I know. It's a lot, but I make it look easy. You have to have a good time no matter what. Always have a good time. And it fucks people off so bad if they think you should be sad and you're not. Like, I don't mean somebody just died and you're laughing, but like if you're not as pissed off as they expect you to be, it pisses them off worse. So you can have fun with it. "Oh, you're mad, I'm not mad? LOL. Get wrecked." Swamp Cabbage, maybe next Quite Frankly Meet we should hang out. Uh, you're an awesome woman, Nikki. Yeah, I would hang out with any of the Franklies, just most of them anyway. I don't let a few bad apples spoil the bunch. Oh, quit creeping. No, it's cool. Like, we've all known each other for so long. Anybody who I thought was that creepy, I would not be talking to, and they probably would come to my channel. So you're good. You're good. Some kind of if I'm gonna meet anybody, it's gonna have to be this year because everything's expensive. Oh, my bad. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, there's so many Franklies I want to meet, and I just don't think it's gonna happen. And I don't want to think about that because that's sad. It's sad to think you have to wait to meet so many people after everybody dies, but I guess once you're dead, time goes by pretty fast, so it's not that bad. It's not like you don't have stuff to do in the meantime, so just look on the bright side. So down in the living room, Carolyn doesn't want to go against Liz. It's like she knows what's right for her, but she doesn't want to go against her mom. So Roger tells her that, well, she won't get help here. Then he turns around, like, "Laura!" Like, nobody saw her come in. So, oh, well, I did. guess you might as well find out. So Roger tells Laura that Liz is ill and she has to go to Boston. Laura's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Carolyn says, are you? This fits into your plans. You can afford to be generous now. She's just that pissed off and she's stressed out. She leaves the room. So Roger, fills her in on the rest. Like, I found Liz, she'd fallen out, and the doctor needs to run tests, but Liz won't leave. And she was adamant you don't get David. But Carolyn will be in charge if Liz goes, and she may keep Liz here just to spite you. Because Burke likes you more than her. And as long as Liz can speak, she can give orders. Laura says that won't be a problem. Then we hear the most terrible scream coming from upstairs. It's Carolyn. So now we're up in Liz's room. Carolyn, she's just bawling her eyes out, just looking at her mom. Victoria and Roger run in, and Liz is just lying there, just staring straight ahead. She's not looking at anybody coming in. It's like you're just asleep with your eyes open, like a coma. She's just staring straight ahead, not flinching, not nothing. And Liz she's like a statue. She can't talk, just nothing. And we see the living room for the credits. Liz is so sick in this episode. It's so sad. Swamp Cabbage says, you're a very pretty woman. Congrats, Nikki. Oh, thank you. Oh my god, Swamp Cabbage says, pray for my friend I work with, Rosanna. She has stomach cancer. Oh no. Oh, wow. Damn, yeah, Lisa Gray was just saying how her sister's got to go down to Mexico for cancer treatment, and just, oh, damn, that's rough. That's what Earl Julia had. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, more power to her. That's so scary. And I was saying how boring hospitals are. Oh, that sucks. Oh, damn, hold on. Oh. Yeah, more power to all these sick folks. It's rough. All that back and forth and cold and lights and scrubs and shoes that don't match. Oh, it's friggin' incompetence. And then the food. Ugh. Why bother? And it's cold and nobody's American and just. Ugh. There's no hot guys. How am I gonna get well? It's boring as fuck. Oh. Yeah, more power to Rosanna. Oh, cute name too. Alright, episode 159 aired on February 2nd, 1967. It's still day 31. It's nighttime. And we're in the foyer. Frank Garner shows up. I know Victoria let him in, and she's saying that Liz is worse now. And well, she's been under pressure because of David's custody, so she thinks that the illness is caused by Laura. And she doesn't know how, it's just a feeling. So they go into the living room, and Victoria just continues saying that Liz wanted to see you. I don't know why. I left you that message, and then she got worse. And so Frank tells her that, folks usually want to update their wills when they're in that condition. So he doesn't think there's anything weird about it. Victoria says that Liz wants Carolyn in charge, but she wants to stay at Collinwood also. She says something's keeping her here, but she won't say what. Put a pin in that. She says, she told me to keep David from Laura. Frank tells her, well, legally you can't. Tori says there have been too many coincidences and unnatural occurrences. Frank's like, yeah, true, but I deal with facts. And not many folks can explain this kind of stuff. Wait, I know a guy who deals with parapsychology and the study of ESP, supernatural phenomena. A fella named Professor Peter Guthrie at Dartmouth. I'll give him a call. For a practical person like Frank, how does he know a spookologist? But okay, it's nice to have friends that are different than yourself. But over at the cottage, we're in there like nobody's in there right now. But David comes running up through the door, and then he looks back at the door. Up runs Laura like they were, who can get to the cottage faster? Running back to it. And she gets in the door, and David's like, "I told you I could run fast." This is when I wondered, can David see things because his mom has powers? Like when he looks into his crystal ball and like knew that the painting was burnt up, even though Roger said he destroyed it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's got his own powers. Maybe I don't know exactly if you can inherit that. I'm not sure when. This is the first time we've seen this kind of stuff. So in universe, it's still up in the air. Spookologist, yeah. The study of ghosts and whatnot. Like a volcanologist. What do we need a Star Trek nerd here for? Francois, I love that. Yeah, that's his official name on the placard. Spookologist. That's cute. But they're inside, they're getting cozy, and Laura, they notice the fire's low. David notices, so Laura's like, "Oh, do you want to, poke it with the poker to, get the fire going?" And David's like, "Really?" And she even lets him, throw a log on the fire. And David's saying that his dad never lets him do that. So Laura's like, "Oh, well, you can come over tomorrow morning and start another fire, and I'll make pancakes." And I'm glad we're friends. So David says, "I wasn't mad at you. Just, was Aunt well, let him come over." So Laura says, "Well, would you like to sleep over sometime?" And David's like, "Yeah." Laura tells him that you must never let anyone come between us. So over in the foyer, the clock says 9 p.m. David comes in. Laura, or not Laura, but Victoria's right there, asks him where he was. David says that he was at the cottage with his mom. So Victoria says, "Well, I want to talk to you." They go into the living room. And Victoria says, Liz is ill and she's going to the hospital. And she left instructions regarding your studies, and we're going to start early tomorrow. David says, "But my mom was going to make me breakfast. She even let me tend the fire." Victoria says, "She what?" David says, "I'm going to bring the firewood, so I'll be too busy. And you're just trying to stop me from seeing my mother." So just then, Laura's walked in the door, so she's just, again, standing in the doorway of the living room. And she overheard that last part, so she says, "Hey, David, Victoria would never do that." David says, "She's keeping me busy, so I can't see you." Victoria says, "Well, you're behind on your studies." So Laura says, "Well, why don't you get a good night's rest so you can catch up tomorrow?" David just goes upstairs. So as soon as he's gone, Laura says, "You noticed how I backed you up? Why aren't you backing me up? Because of Liz. I'd hate to think you're trying to keep me from David. So you can help me the most. And Victoria says, I can't forget my responsibility to David and Liz to make the right decisions. Laura says, no matter what, I'll get David. And this is when I wrote it down too. Like, would she even want David if not for the magic? She needs him for some reason. So that's why she's come back into town. That's why she wants custody of him. She doesn't want him because that's her flesh and blood, her only child. She just wants him for her, magical reasons. Whereas Liz just, I mean, like, okay, yeah, David is the heir to Collinwood, so yeah, that's why Liz wants to have him around so he, learns how to be a Collins and grows up right. But I don't think Liz is. It makes me wonder if Laura was really a good mother who really just wanted to love her son and have him in her life and was going to stay in town. If Liz would agree to that, but I really don't know. And I don't think Liz wants to keep David around for selfish reasons. It's not like she's going to be hurting financially if suddenly David becomes of age and gets all the money, because Liz can take care of her money and her own self. But Liz is basically the only person who likes David for who he is and wants him to be around and have the right things and good things like that. But he just has everybody else in his life doesn't like him or just wants to use him or get rid of him. So that's where that's so sad for a little kid. Basically, nobody wants, not his mom really, not his dad. Carolyn's about him. Burke was just kind of using him to be nice to get back at the family. Uh, yeah. But then we see the cottage for the credits. And that screen is there. There's this a screen that's sort of like 2 or 3 parts. Like it could fold up flat, but then you can like pull it out straight, and it's sort of like zigzaggy, but it's on the floor. And wait, do we see? This must be it because we do get shots from what like we're looking into the cottage from that window, and you can see the fireplace, but that screen is put up in such a way where we can't see that. I assume it's a bedroom door. You can't see that door. So that's good. You don't want some stranger looking through your window into your bedroom or something like that. But I had to look through my own window when I built the cottage, so I felt like a peeping Tom trying to get that something in the way just right to block that. And the door handle's on the right. I think I got that already. Uh, yeah, there really is not enough time to do another episode. That's a good place to end off. Must have put a lot of detail into that explanation. I like that we just kick it at these. It's not exactly, if it was exactly a review, there wouldn't be just be talking about random stuff at the beginning, so it's a little bit of everything. And I use the same thumbnail for every single episode right now. So yeah, it's like Liz was fine, then she falls out for the first time in ever, and Victoria thinks Laura's behind it. Roger just doesn't care if it doesn't involve him directly, then whatever can happen, and he's fine with it. Carolyn's freaking out, and Victoria's worried too, but she really seems to have this mindset like, well, if we just continue on like normal, we'll be okay. Like, she doesn't want to let Carolyn like sit there and sigh and dwell about, or cry and dwell about her mom being ill. She's like, well, just go to bed. Like, I know you're not gonna be able to sleep, but just change into your jammies and go to your room. Sitting down here and crying is not going to help you. And Josette's really helping out. She's getting Victoria to go out of the house to some cemetery she's never been at before. But it's connected. She's finding out stuff about somebody with a name that's very similar to Laura's. How many Murdochs are in Collinwood? And again, what's the big idea with moving the cemetery out of town? Oh my god. Did they take the bodies? Because now I'm just thinking of the skeleton popping up in the pool, and Collins doesn't have a pool. Not in the TV show, anyway. Um, ooh. See, now, don't watch the movies so you watch the entire show, but one of the movies there is a pool, and it doesn't look very clean. Now I'm thinking about there being a skeleton in it. Ugh. Oh, that's gross. And it really sucks to see Liz so, like, scared and upset and not knowing what to do or what's happening when she's usually the complete opposite. She's one of the more stable characters. Kind of like Joe, how he's just sort of like no funny business. He just wants to, work hard and be successful and be his own man. And Liz is, she's holding the family together and the house and the business and everything else. And just looking glamorous the whole time, and no nonsense, and just trying to tell her daughter and her nephew the right things to do, even if they don't listen. And then there's Frank just out of the blue, like, wait, I know a guy. That is so random. That would be like if Joe knew somebody who was I know a witch doctor. Hang on. Let me get on the phone, and just like how did they meet? What school did Frank Garner go to that they had spooky classes to take, and then they had lawyer classes to take? Like, did they meet in France? We don't know. He just knows him. Maybe you just hear a name professionally, and you talk a couple times, and then suddenly, hey, I know you're into this stuff. Come to Maine. Where's Dartmouth anyway? Like, I assume it's in the United States. Did I look this up before? I forget. Uh, Dart Mouse. Uh, Search. No additional information. Searching. Uh, it's a place in Canada. How does he know people in Canada? Okay, where's in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Okay, that's like basically the same time zone. Patrick says, Nikki, have you found another apartment to move to? Hope you will be okay in the near future. Not yet. It's sort of in the place where I'm just making sure to like trying to like clean things up. Like, well, I don't want to have to put this in a box and take it anywhere with me. So just sort of like cleaning things up, and I'm just trying to have as many normal days as possible, because I know all that moving around is gonna throw up my back, and I can't get to the chiropractor anymore. And just be bright, a lot of brightness. I mean, I've got my sunglasses and my hat to wear. Um, I just need to find a place that's quiet so I don't have to go off on my neighbors, because I'm a quiet person. I work from home. I don't need people being rowdy and throwing parties and having all kinds of noise and critters and children doing nonsense. I won't put up with that. I just assume it's going to be somewhere here in town. Just looking around at some, slowly looking at places. I'm more interested in exactly how long they're going to let me keep my car, because it's coming up on 4 months behind, and about every other day now I'm getting a call or a text talking about, like, your account may be reviewed for a repossession, but you still have time to stop it. Make a payment now. Okay, can I pay you $1 and you guys leave me alone for another month? I doubt it, but I'm not asking for $1,500. Yeah, I do have super chats opened up though. I've got Venmo, I've got Buy Me a Coffee, link in the description for the channel and for the show. I'm certainly not sitting here asking for thousands of dollars, but all of that goes to myself. Your money stays in the United States. I'm not spending it on hookers and blow. It does not support AI. Oh, let me flip that around. That's too bright. That's how I was able to eat for my birthday and get cake. And so that was awesome of you guys to let me be able to do that. So thank you guys for that. If you do want to watch Dark Shadows, link for that is in the channel description and for the show description. It's on Tubi for free. It's on Internet Archive for free, but they're not going to tell you what episodes they didn't film. And if you get to the Kinescope episodes, they have subtitles on Tubi. So that's how I got through those two episodes. They have the worst audio you've ever heard, but it's better than nothing. It kind of reminds me of before an album comes out and folks are dropping like clips of songs. Even though it's current year, it sounds like somebody had an old, not even a flip phone, just a burner phone in their pocket, in their winter coat pocket, recording 30 seconds of a song. It's like that, but this is a whole episode that's 22 minutes long. It's not like when we were getting clips of Babylon before Chromatica came out, and then that whole album was just a letdown. Patrick says, we all hope you will be fine, as we all love you. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll work out. Something will work out. Something will come into play. All those thoughts and prayers do help out. Thoughts and prayers for all these folks going through cancer. That sucks. That's so scary. How do you find out you're sick? Because it sounds like people just go to the doctor anyway, and then they come back with, oh, and I have cancer. So it's not like you're just, like, how does it start? Is it a stomach ache? Is it a backache? Is it a headache? Is everyone different? How do you know you have blood cancer? Like, oh, dude, my blood just hurts so bad. I don't know what it is. It's like a whole body ache. It only happens when I'm alive. I don't know. Like, I'm not making fun of sick people. I just don't know how that starts up. So I wouldn't go to a hospital. Oh. Let's see. Basically everything I do, I've got links for that in the channel description and the show. Not the shirt, though. This is not Today's Satan. Grace Still Plays. Unfortunately, they don't sell that anymore. I tried to ask about it. I went into one of the membership videos and asked. I haven't looked back. I don't know if he responds to those comments. I don't know if other people respond to each other, but I didn't know where to ask. So I just want to make sure there's not going to be another official Grace Still Plays shirt. Speaking of shirts, maybe I can make a Spookologist a shirt. Gotta be careful with the Dark Shadow stuff. I don't need the estate of Dan Curtis suing me for making anything that's too Dark Shadows-y, like on the nose. You can't call it that. I couldn't call anything Dark Shadow with no S. Like, no, that's kind of close, lady. We're watching you. But yeah, I'm glad you guys had a couple of hours to hang out with me. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. Don't forget your pants. You're going to need those all week at the show. I am thinking about doing a Friday show on the 13th. Francois said that would be funny. Just maybe there'll be a more of a reason to use that term. I don't know. This is a show where some spooky things are known to happen, so maybe this is just the start of it. But yeah. And then what Victoria said about, Liz is staying here. Something's keeping her here, but she won't say what. We find out eventually. We do find out. Great episode when that happens. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here and being based and sexy and frankly's. So get you some good sleep. Get something good to eat. Smoke out on the balcony. Don't watch anything with AI. That stuff is evil. Try some black currant. Sounds like it's a sweeter raspberry. I'd check it out now. They have to make black currant tea. But yeah, I love you guys again. So thank you for being here so I can put on a show for you guys. I look forward to this all week. So I wouldn't be here without you guys, and you guys wouldn't be here if I wasn't putting on a show. So we all take care of each other. Patrick says, take care, Nikki, and everyone in chat. God bless you. Well, thank you. John Rogers says, thanks, Nikki. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you guys. John Rogers says, have a great night. Francois says, thank you, Nikki, and all. Yeah, thank you guys for this. Thanks for a great birthday. Thanks for a great time. And check out some Dark Shadows. So I love you guys again. Until next time.